सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर् गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम। Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita. So today we are going to study 5th chapter. In fact, we are going to finish the 5th chapter today, which has got 29 slokas. So we finished 26 slokas. So just 3 more slokas, we will be able to finish 5th chapter today. But we have to keep studying this Bhagavad Gita. That's what is very important. All these slokas, what we have studied already and what we are studying, everything, we need to keep on reciting these slokas and remembering these slokas. That's what is very important. Because then only we can actually use this, apply this knowledge in our life. Because this Bhagavad Gita is just not a theoretical knowledge alone. It is a practical instructions are given. How to perform, how to do our duty, how to act. So everything is very clearly taught in this Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is explaining everything very clearly. So we need to study this Bhagavad Gita, understand this Bhagavad Gita fully and apply this knowledge in our life. So that means all these slokas we need to repeatedly study. We need to study again and again. We just cannot say that I'm done with this chapter or I'm done with all the 18 chapters. I've finished studying Bhagavad Gita. So we cannot say like that. Because Bhagavad Gita is the continuous source of knowledge. It's an unlimited source of knowledge and unlimited source of happiness, because knowledge brings happiness. Sat Chit Ananda. The soul is eternal, but the soul has to be knowledgeful also. So that means the soul should have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And then once we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita fully, so that means the soul will also be Ananda. So it will be very blissful. So that's what knowledge brings happiness. This Chit and Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. So that's why this knowledge we need to keep studying, especially in the 5th chapter. Krishna has actually taught us so much, has given us so much knowledge. Just in this 29 slokas, he has given so much knowledge actually. Even in the 2nd chapter, which has got 72 slokas, we can easily divide that chapter into 3 divisions. The first portion of the 2nd chapter, Krishna is giving the Sankhya Yoga, that is the knowledge about the soul. And the second portion, that is the middle portion of the 2nd chapter, is the Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. So Krishna is explaining about how to act without expecting results. Of course, 3rd chapter itself is titled as Karma Yoga, but in the 2nd chapter also Krishna has already taught about Karma Yoga. That is Buddhi Yoga. Buddhya Yukta Yaya Partha Karma Bandham Prakasyasi. That's what Krishna taught. So then, because Arjuna asked the question in the beginning of 3rd chapter, that's why Krishna has explained more about the Karma Yoga. That's why we are getting the chapter itself titled as Karma Yoga, the 3rd chapter. But as far as Krishna is concerned, Krishna already in the 2nd chapter itself to Arjuna very clearly explained about how to perform our Karma Yoga. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadasana Ma karma pala heturbur mate sangos akarmani. So you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you don't have a right over the results of your activities. So Krishna didn't say simply don't expect results. Krishna very clearly said that you don't have any right over the results. You don't have any authority over the results. Only you have a right to perform your duty. Adhikaram. Adhikaram you have only for the duty, but not for the results. That means you don't have any adhikaram to the results. There is no right over the results. So that's what Krishna is saying. The reason is that because we are not the source of, we are not the cause for the results of the activities. So, ma karma pala heturbur. Don't think that you are the cause for the results. And mate sangos akarmani. And also never be attached to not doing your duty. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So that way, we understand very clearly that we have right to perform our duty, but we don't have right over the results. So that way, the second chapter, the middle portion was Krishna is teaching us about how to perform the karma yoga. Basically, using buddhi, using intelligence. So that's what buddhi yoga, buddhya yukta yayapata. So buddhi yogetu imam srunu. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi. Palam tyaktva mani sinaga. Janma bandha vinirmukta. Padam gacchanti anamayam. So if you act with intelligence, without attachment to the results. That's what karmajam buddhi yuktahi palam tyaktva mani sinaga. Janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchanti anamayam. You will be freed from the janma bandha, from the bondage to birth in this world. Janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchanti anamayam. You will reach the destination where there are no miseries. That's what Krishna is teaching. So then in the third portion of the second chapter, Arjuna asked the question about what are the symptoms of a self-realized person. How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk? Sthita prajnasya kabasha samadhistasya kesava sthitadi kim prabhaseta kim masita vrajeta kim. For that, Krishna explained in detail at length about in 18 shlokas all the symptoms of a self-realized person. Very, very clearly Krishna explained. So that way we understood very clearly, we understood in the second chapter all about this. But in the fifth chapter, in just 29 slokas. So in the second chapter, in 72 slokas, Krishna gave so much knowledge. But in the fifth chapter, in the 29 slokas, just for that one very important question, very, very important question, which Arjuna asked, Krishna explained so many things. Krishna gave us so much of knowledge in that fifth chapter, in the just 28 slokas, totally 29 slokas. The first sloka, Arjuna is asking the question. So then in the remaining 28 slokas, Krishna is teaching us the complete knowledge. So much of Krishna is answered not only in these 28 slokas. Of course, today we are finishing the fifth chapter. And next when we start the sixth chapter also, Krishna is continuing. So Krishna next 32 slokas in the sixth chapter also answers this one particular question, Arjuna's question. So totally 60 slokas, 28 in the fifth chapter and 32 in the sixth chapter. So totally in 60 slokas, Krishna is explaining very, very clearly, but it's very important for us to go through all these slokas again and again and again and study and understand and spread and we need to follow. Everything is very, very important. So of course, Krishna's causeless mercy is there. We will be able to do that. By Krishna's causeless mercy, we will be able to follow. So now in the Krishna, then because what is that important question Arjuna asked in the fifth chapter, the very first question? Arjuna simply asked very important question that what is good for me? To renounce the actions or to perform the actions and renounce the results. So, Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna. Arjuna Vacha Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha samsasi yachreyaetayor yekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. So sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samsasi. You explain to me about the sannyasam karmana punaryogam cha. Because in the fourth chapter towards the end, Krishna said that yoga sannyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samsayam Atmavantam na karmani nibagnanti dhananjaya. That's what Krishna said. Yoga sanyasta karmanam. So, jnana sanchinna samsayam. So, by destroying samsayam, the doubts, with the knowledge, with the weapon of knowledge, you perform your activities without any attachment to the results. That's what you renounce the results. So, yoga sanyasta karmanam. Karmanam means the results. But here Arjuna is asking that sannyasam karmanam. Karmanam means you renounce the work. Krishna never said that you renounce the work, renounce the duties. Krishna very clearly said that you renounce your results. So that's what yoga sannyasta karmanam. So whereas Arjuna is asking that sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samsachi. You explain to me about this sannyasam karmanam, giving up the actions, activities, and also then you also explained about performing the activities without expecting the results. Punaryogam cha samsachi. Yachreya yetayor ekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. So out of these two, you tell me which is good for me. That's what Arjuna asked the question. So, but it's a very important question. Very, very important question. Now, because Arjuna asked this question to Krishna directly, and Krishna is answering. So for us, the answer is very final. We know that it is the final. When it comes from Krishna, we just have to take it as it is. Afterwards, there is no point in arguing, no point in bringing our own ideas and all. That's simply waste of time. When Krishna gives the answer, just take it. That's it. Take it as it is. So Krishna very, very clearly explained immediately in the next sloka itself, in the second sloka itself, in the 5th chapter, Krishna said that Sanyasaga karma yogascha nisreyasa karavubau tayostu karma sanyasat karma yogo visishyate. So these last two lines are very important. So when compared to karma sannyasat, when compared to renouncing the activities, tayostu karma sannyasat, karma yogo visishyate, performing the activities and renouncing the results. That means without any attachment to the results, performing the activities without any attachment to the results. So that is better. That's what Krishna is saying, that visishyate. Tayostu karma sannyasat, karma yogo visishyate. That's what Krishna is teaching. So that way, we very clearly understand from this Bhagavad Gita, from Krishna's answer, that it is better for us to perform our duty without expecting any results. That's what we understand also in the 4th chapter, in the other chapters also, even in the 18th chapter also, Krishna says that having got this human body, having got this body, first of all, the sarira yatra pichate na prasadayat akarmanaga. So, sarira yatra pichate, so having obtained this body, so we are not going to get anything good for us by renouncing the works. So na prasadayat akarmana. So nahi dega prata sakyam tyaktum karmani asesataka. In the 18th chapter, Krishna is saying that. So having got this body, dega prata sakyam tyaktum karmani asesataka. So one cannot give up the activities completely. So at least we need to perform duties, at least to maintain our body. That's why sariram kevalam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. That's what in the 4th chapter Krishna says. Sariram kevalam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. Nirasi yatachittatma tyakta sarva parigraha sariram kevalam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. So without having any desires, nirasir yatachittatma tyakta sarva parigraha, one who is able to give up all varieties of proprietorships. Tyakta sarva parigraha sariram kevalam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. Only if we perform, if we act just to maintain our body, so then we are not going to get any sins. Kurvan napnoti kilbisham means we are not going to get any sins. That's what Krishna is teaching. So that way, Krishna is saying that this performing our activities is better. Also in the 5th chapter, 6th sloka, Krishna said that Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha. So if we follow this sannyasa, so that means it's going to get distressed, dukkam aptum ayogata. So it's not going to be a happy path. So even though still we can reach Krishna, but still it's not going to be an easy path. So that's what dukkam aptum ayogata. Whereas yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhikachati. If we perform our activities without any attachment to the results for Krishna, then very quickly, without any delay, we will achieve Krishna. So that's what Munir Brahma Nachirena Adhigachati. So we will attain Brahman. So Krishna's will, the supreme abode. So without any delay. So that way we understand very clearly we need to perform all the activities as an offering unto Krishna. Brahmanadaya karmani sangam tektva karotya. So if we perform all the activities only for Krishna's satisfaction, only as an offering unto Krishna, Brahman Adaya Karmani, Sangam Tyaktva. So by giving up all attachments to the results. So Sangam Tyaktva Karotya. In the 5th chapter, 10th sloka, Krishna is saying very clearly that Brahman Adaya Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Karotya Lipyate Nasapapena Padmapatram Ivambasa. Like the lotus feet is untouched by water. So similarly, we will not be touched by the sins. So Lipyate Nasapapena Padmapatram Ivambasa. That's what we study. So that way, we need to use our body, mind, senses, intelligence, everything to act without any attachment to the results, only to purify our soul, Atma Suddhi. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindriyairapi yoginaga karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva Atma Suddhaye. So Sangam tyaktva Atma Suddhi. So that's what Krishna is saying. What happens if you do that? Yuktaha karma palam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naistikim ayuktaha kamakarena pale sakto nibadhyate. So if we perform all our activities without any attachment to the results, we are going to get, what is the result of not getting attached to the results? The result of not getting attached to the result is the peace of mind. That's what we want. Peace of mind brings happiness. So santim apnoti. So that's what yuktaha karma palam tyaktva santim apnoti naistikam. Whereas ayuktaha kama karena pale sakto nibadhyate. So we will be bound if we are, for the satisfaction of our senses, if we are not performing our activities as an offering unto Krishna, then that is going to bind us. That's what nibadhyate. So that's why Krishna is saying that sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi navadvare pure dehe naiva kurvan nakarayan. So one who is able to renounce all activities mentally, not physically. So that's what manasa. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi. So then we will be able to live very happily in the city of 9 gates. So that's what Navadware Pure Dehi. Naiva Kurvan Nakare. So at that time, we are not doing anything. We are not making anyone to do anything also. That's why in the next sloka, in the 14th sloka, in the 5th chapter, Krishna says that Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srajati prabhu na karma palasam yogam swabhavastu pravartate. So we are not doing any duty. Na kartritvam, na karmani lokasya srajati prabhu. We are not creating any work. We are not making anyone to do any work also. And we are not even creating the results. Na karma palasam yogam. Everything is done by the swabhava. Swabhavastu pravartate. So that way we cannot blame Krishna also for any good or bad deeds. So that also Krishna said very clearly. So, na adatte kasyachin papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhuku ajnanena vritam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaga. So I don't take responsibility for anyone's good or bad deeds. So everything is because everyone in this world is bewildered by, because they are under ignorance, because their knowledge is covered by ignorance. Because of that, tena muhyanti jantavaga. So that's why Krishna is saying that you first destroy this darkness of ignorance by the shining lamp of knowledge. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesam nasitam atmanaga. For those who are able to destroy this ignorance by the shining lamp of knowledge. For them, just like the rising sun which illuminates everything, so like that everything becomes illuminated. So, ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम येषां नाशितम आत्मनः तेषाम् आदित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परम. That's what Krishna is saying. So, विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि सुनीचैव स्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः. So tadbuddhayaga tadatmanaga tannistaga tatparayanaga gachanti apunaravrittam jnana nirduta kalmasham. So like that Krishna is continuing. So we should surrender unto that Krishna, tadbuddhayaga tadatmanaga tannistaga. So we should fix our mind on him, offer our intelligence unto him. So all such things Krishna is continuing. So with the virtue of knowledge, a Pandita will see everyone equally. Pandita Samadarshinaga. So that's what we study. So that way Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly that in this life itself, Ihaivatai jitaga sargau yesam samye sthitam managa nirdosam gi samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. So in this life itself, we can conquer the birth, so that we will not be forced to take another birth in this material world. For those who are able to completely control their mind and become equal to Brahma. Nirdosamgi samam Brahma. So like Brahman, like Brahma, so he without any faults, nirdosham. So tasmat Brahmani testitaka. So if we elevate ourselves to that stage, so then we are not attracted to external material sense enjoyment. At that time, we are not affected by anything. So, na pragrishet priyam prapya nodvijayet prapya cha priyam stirabuddhir asamudo brahmavid brahmanishta. So, when we get what we want, we should not be jumping around. When we get what we don't want, we should not be disturbed also. Nodvijayet prapya cha priyam. So, stirabuddhir asamudo. So, we should not be bewildered and we should have steady intelligence. So, brahmavid brahmanishta. He is the knower of Brahman. He is situated in Brahman. So, that's what Krishna is saying. So that way, Bahyasparse swasaktatma vindati atmani yat sukham sa brahma yoga yuktatma sukham akshayam asnuthe. So we should not be attached to external material sense enjoyment. Whereas we should actually find happiness within ourselves. Vindati atmani yat sukham. So he is actually engaged in the Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. He is situated in Brahman. So at that point of time, he will be able to enjoy unlimited happiness. Sukham akshayam asnute. So that's what Krishna is saying. Because the persons who is Buddha, the intelligent persons, they know that these kinds of cheap material sense enjoyment is the source of misery, source of distress. So they will come to an end. They have beginning and end. So that's why Krishna is saying that Yegisam sparsaja boga dukkayo nayayevate adyantavantaka kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaga. That's what Krishna is saying. So they got both beginning and end. So that is the source of distress. So the so-called sense enjoyment, material sense enjoyment. That's why an intelligent person does not delight in them. So that's why nateshu ramate buddha. So for such persons, actually, what he will do? Saknoti gaiva yasodum praksarira vimokshanat kama krododbhavam vegam sayuktaga sasuki naraga. So one who is able to tolerate all this, the urge, the speed, this kama krodha. So which is with this because of the kama and krodha, because of the lust and anger, one who is tolerate all this urge until the time of leaving this body, until the time of departing from this body, prak sarira vimokshanat. So he is actually properly engaged and he is the happiest person. Sa yuktaga sa sukhi naraga. So he is the yuktaga, he is the sukhi. So that's what Krishna is saying there. So once we are able to get into that kind of state, not getting affected by anything in this material world, not going after material sense objects. Once we are able to experience that unlimited happiness within ourselves, so Krishna is saying that yonta sukho antararamas tathantar jyotireva yaga sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto adhigacchati. So he is able to achieve the brahma bhuta. So brahma bhuta state. So brahma nirvana. So that means when we leave this body, we are going to go to Krishna. That's what Brahma Nirvana Brichati. So, labante Brahma Nirvanam Rishayaga Kshina Kalmasaga Chinnadvaito Yadatmanaga Sarvabhuta Hiterataga. So, labante Brahma Nirvanam. So, when we achieve that Brahma Nirvanam, Rishayaga Kshina Kalmasaga, the rishis, the sages whose sins are done, whose sins are eradicated, Rishayaga Kshina Kalmasaga, Chinnadvaido. So their dualities are also destroyed. Chinnadvaido Yadatmanaga. So who always control their mind. So Sarvabhuta Hiteratagam. So they will engage in the welfare of other beings. So engage in the welfare work of all other living entities. That's what Krishna is saying there. So Kama Krodha Vimuktanam Yatinam Yatachetasam Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Vididatmanam. So that's what this sloka number 26 we finished last week. Kama Krodha Vimukthanam Yatinam Yatachetasam. So such a person, devotee, is able to free himself from the Kama and Krodha, from the lust and anger. So Kama Krodha Vimukthanam Yatinam Yatachetasam, who has controlled his mind. Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Viditatmana. So by understanding the self, so he has already achieved the Brahma Nirvana. So now Krishna is teaching us the sloka what we are going to study today. In this sloka number 27 and 28, together Krishna is teaching that. Spasan kritva bahirbahyams chaksus chaivantare bruve pranapana samayuktaga nasabhyantaracharinav yatendriya mano buddhir munir moksha parayana vigatte chabaya krodho yasada muktayeva sagam. So Krishna is actually explaining what is mukta. The mukta means the liberation. So mukti. So when there is bhakti, there is a mukti. So that's what is the condition of mukti? So that means when we are ready to live, ready to depart, when we are going to go to Krishna, so we need to actually, what are the things we are supposed to do to achieve that mukti? That's what Krishna is teaching us here. There is Sparsan Kritva Bahirbahyams Chaksus Chaivantare Burve. So controlling all our senses. So from outside. So controlling everything. So no senses are interacting anything with the outside world. That's what Sparsan Kritva Bahirbahyams. So Chaksus Chaivantare Burve. So our eyes, focusing our eyes towards the center of the burva. So that is the eyebrows. So bringing our eyes to the center of the eyebrows. So this Bruvor Madhye Pranamavesya Samyak. We also studied in the 8th chapter. So Krishna said in the 10th sloka, Krishna said how to depart, how to go to Krishna as well. So Prayana Kale Manasa Chalena Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena Chaiva Bruvor Madhye Pranamavesya Samyak Satam Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. So the Bruvor Madhye. So like that here Krishna is saying that Chaksus Chaivantare Bruve. Bruvo pranapana samayuktaga samaukritva pranapana samaukritva nasabhyantara charino. So by suspending our both outgoing and incoming air and in the nostrils. So that's what nasabhyantara charino. So at that point of time, Yathendriya Mano Buddhir, Indriya Mano Buddhir, there is senses, mind and intelligence. Yathendriya Mano Buddhir. So one who is control his mind, senses and intelligence, everything under our control. So Munir, so a sage, Moksha Parayanaga, so who is actually to get the liberation, Vigatecha Baya Krodha, Icha Baya Krodha. Icha means desire and Baya, fear and Krodha, anger. So Krishna says that in the previously also, Raga Baya Krodha. Vita raga baya krodha manmaya mamupashitaga bhagavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavamagata. So when we want to free ourselves from this material world, so when we are actually raga baya krodha, raga is the attachment. When there is attachment, there is baya, there is a fear. If you don't have any attachment to anything in this world, then there is no fear at all. So then there is anger also if you have attachment. So if you don't have any attachment, so basically it's karma. If you don't have any desires, if you don't have any attachments, then there is no fear and there is no anger. So that's what Vita Raga Baya Krodha. Also, Dukesu Anudvigna Managa Sukeshu Vigata Sprighaga Vitaraga Bayakrodaga Sitadir Muniruchyate. So there under Krishna is using Vita Raga Bayakroda. Raga Baya here Vigate Icha Bayakroda. Icha also is the same. Icha means the desire. So Icha. So Vigatecha Bayakrodo Yasada Muktaye Vasaga. So one who is in that condition all the time, so he is already liberated. So that is called the liberation. So then that means we are ready to depart from this world. We are ready to go to Krishna's world. So that's what Prayana Kale Manasachalena Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena Chaiva Guruvor Madhye Pranamavesya Samyak Satam Param Purusham Upaiti Divya. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. The transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is actually, who always in this state is certainly liberated. So that's what Krishna is saying. So that way, in order to achieve this state, we really don't have to really put any efforts. We just have to study this Bhagavad Gita, spread this Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just follow all the instructions given by Krishna in this Bhagavad Gita. Automatically, we will get ourselves elevated to this state. Automatically, we are going to get, because in order to do all these things, what is needed? We need Yoga Balam. That's what is needed. Yoga Balam. And that Yoga Balam, the strength of the yoga, that means yoga means not affected by success and failure. Being equal in both success and failure is called yoga. So if we have that yoga balam, we will be able to do all those things. That's it. And how are we going to get that yoga balam? Bhaktya yukta, by doing devotional service unto Krishna. So bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatiteta. If anyone renders devotional service unto me, he is freed from the maya, freed from the sagunan, all the gunas, three modes of material nature. So that way, how are we going to get that bhakti? By getting this knowledge. Only with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are going to understand about Krishna. We are going to develop that pure, unconditional, unalloyed love towards Krishna. Because of that, we are going to get intelligence, we are going to get knowledge, and we are going to get control of our mind, control our senses. So then we will be able to free ourselves from Bhaya, Krodha, everything. Then we will be able to go to Krishna. So this is what the technical process Krishna is very clearly explaining here. So now in the last sloka of the 5th chapter, sloka number 29, Krishna is saying that very clearly that Bhoktaram yajñatapasam sarvaloka mageswaram suhridam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim richati. So Bhoktaram yajñatapasam, one who knows Bhoktaram yajñatapasam means that is, I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices and austerities. So all the offerings and austerities. So one who is the enjoyer. So who is the enjoyer? Krishna. Sarvaloka Maheswara. So the Maheswara, the supreme controller of all the worlds. Sarvaloka Maheswara. Sugurdam Sarvabhutanam, who is the well-wisher of all beings. So Nyatva Mam, all these things only I am. So if anyone who knows that I am all these things, so Shantim Richati, he will get peace of mind. So we simply get peace of mind by knowing this. That's it. By knowing that Krishna is everything. By knowing that Krishna is the supreme personality of God, we are going to get peace of mind. And how we are going to know all those things? By getting this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So through Bhagavad Gita knowledge only we understand all those things. That's why this Jnanam Labdva Param Shantim Nachirena Achirena Adhikachati. So if you get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are going to get Param Shantim, the supreme peace of mind. And how are you going to get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita? In fact, we are getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And how we are getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita? Because of our faith on Krishna. Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaga samyatendri. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have faith. That's why we are getting this knowledge. So Krishna is saying that a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. That's what Krishna is saying, that Shantim Richati. So we are going to get all these things because we have faith. We are getting this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So we are going to get peace. There is no doubt. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the 5th chapter today. Now we will start next week next Saturday, US time and Sunday morning India time, we are going to start the 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga. That is the control of mind, how to meditation. So Krishna is going to teach us even so much of science there. So we will continue to study that. Hare Krishna. And of course, starting from like Tuesday in morning India time, Monday evening US time, we will continue our 13th chapter also. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.